a bewitching addition to the city of Salem's legend of witchcraft.
Bewitched.
The classic sitcom about a modern-day witch now is immortalized in a statue of its main character, Samantha Stevens. But not everyone in Salem is buying into this magic moment. News Center 5's Pam Cross is live in Salem.
Natalie, good evening. They are lowering the statue by crane into cement right behind us. If the purpose of this was to create buzz, well, it certainly worked. Both the supporters of the fans of the show Bewitched, as well as critics of the concept, showed up here. TV Land shows reruns of Bewitched. They paid for the statue and the promotion.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the Bewitched TV Land landmark.
And with that, Samantha Stevens, a fictional TV witch, is magically written into Salem's history. The show Bewitched starred the late Elizabeth Montgomery, the witch with a twitch. The rerun network TV Land paid $75,000 to refurbish the small Salem park and install the controversial statue. Critics call it wrong, since the witch trials ended lives. There is a solemn Salem monument to the dead.
Well, 19 hanged and 1 crushed to death, and all these years later, you don't put a joking statue right across the street.
Basically a promotional piece of kitsch in a city that executed 19 witches and was one of the darkest periods of American history.
We do, in fact, have a great and rich history, one that we're very proud of. And there is more than enough room for contemporary art and modern culture.
Some modern-day witches agree.
All of the terrible tragedies that happened here, we needed something that was lighthearted, something to make you smile. A pretty friendly face in the middle of Salem is the best thing.
They brought out some golden stars for the day. Little Tabitha, then a scene stealer, now grown, could work for the Chamber of Commerce.
I think it's keeping with the spirit of Salem, and I think if people come here to see the statue and then have the ability to visit the other landmarks and learn about the history of Salem, I think everybody will be happy.
Well, Mayor Yusevich has taken some heat for this. He was a big proponent of the statue, and he's taken some fire for bringing it to Salem and for putting it in this spot. This is controversial. One of the protesters was arrested earlier this afternoon for disorderly conduct. This is not the first time TV Land has done this. They have statues in several cities, among them one in Raleigh, a tribute to the Andy Griffith Show, and one in Minneapolis, a tribute to Mary Tyler Moore's program. We are in Salem. I'm Pam Cross, News Center 5. Natalie?
All right, Pam, thank you very much. What do you think about this new Bewitched statue in the city of Salem, Massachusetts? You can join our discussion on the bostonchannel.com and click on As Seen on Channel 5.
A bewitching honor? A new tribute to a once popular TV show is put up in Salem, and not everyone is happy with this. The statue is inspired by the TV show Bewitched.
Salem, chosen because of the town's ties to witches, but some say the statue is just an ad for a new film based on the show. New at 5, 7's Warren Prisbell with the story.
May I present the Bewitched TV Land landmark.
Out of a magic puff of smoke, a new statue of Samantha Stevens stands tall in Salem. The beloved nose-wiggling Bewitched character from the 1960s sitcom now has a place in the Witch City.
I think it's one of the best things that's happened to Salem in a long time. It's a long time coming for something to be fun and cheery, and she's awesome. She's everybody's idol.
It was one of the shows that I watched all the time growing up, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
Not everyone agrees. Some have brought out the broomsticks criticizing this statue, saying that it trivializes the tragic events that happened in Salem in 1692, when 20 people were killed after being accused of witchcraft. The head priest of the Witches of Salem says at first many were not happy about the famous fictional witch swooping in on their city, but now he says most say a good witch is a welcomed witch.
I'm very proud to have the statue in town. I think it took the tragedy of 1692 and turned it into the triumph of the new millennium.
On hand at the unveiling, Erin Murphy, all grown up, she played little Tabitha on the show. Also Bernard Fox, he was Dr. Bombay.
I love it. I think it's beautiful. Really, really nice, and it's a lovely idea to have it put up and everybody can get to look at it. It's a nice piece of work.
And the man behind the Bewitched show, who was also married to the late Elizabeth Montgomery, says it's once again great to see the love of his life smiling.
I just wish she could be here. It's a shame she died, but happens.
And a look at the statue that has now been unveiled. A very special event and no doubt magical. In Salem, I'm Lauren Prisbel, 7 News.
Well, there's a new witch in the city of Salem, and not everyone is under her spell.
John Keller was there for today's controversial unveiling. John?
Well, Josh and Lisa filed this one under only in New England. The statue of the late Elizabeth Montgomery, the actress who played Samantha the Witch on the hit 1960s TV show Bewitched, was paid for by the TV Land cable network. But while Salem officials think it'll attract tourists, some local residents think it's a tacky turnoff.
I think this is an abomination, this event.
Why all the fuss over a bronze statue honoring a sitcom witch? Because paying commercial homage to a comedy witch within steps of where alleged 17th century witches were fingered for execution is wrong, say the protesters.
It's a monument not to Samantha as much as it is to bad taste.
Just yards away from where Bewitched cast members celebrated the unveiling, the local debate over the statue raged on.
The Samantha Stevens statue is art. It is culture.
I think we could all differ, couldn't we, on art?
That word witch was paid for in blood in Salem. It's a rich legacy. And to say it's kitsch or to really come against this is absolutely ridiculous.
Why is Salem promoting a statue that has to do with a TV show and an upcoming movie, putting it on public land for free when we have an extraordinarily rich history as a city?
But to Salem's mayor, it's all about bringing badly needed revenue to this economically struggling city.
With the loss of industry over the past decade or two, needing to replace that with the tourist dollar becomes critical.
And the former child star of Bewitched agrees.
It'll bring them, some tax money from the visitors. I think they'll see that it's a positive thing. I know that no offense was made.
Tabitha still looks pretty cute, doesn't she? Statue defenders argue it's hardly more tacky than some of the other witch-related tourist stuff in Salem, but the proof will come when they total up the proceeds from the summer tourist season there. That is, when and if the weather ever cooperates, Josh.
Now, this is not the first time TV Land has done this. They erected statues of Mary Richards in Minneapolis, Ralph Crandon in New York. Were there controversy surrounding those statues as well?
Not that I'm aware of, but come on, the bottom line is that's Minnesota and New York. They don't get it in those places. Arguing is fun. That's what we do here in Massachusetts and New England.
All right, John. Thank you very much.
We're far more involved, right?
Absolutely.
Still to come, we have much more news.